Yo, YouTube, what is up? We are back again with another tips video for you guys. You guys killed the pinpoint pitching video, which I will have linked up somewhere right here. We talked about pinpoint pitching with a nice little hand cam, how to master that. And today, we're talking about hitting tips, man. We finally got MLB the Show 21 here, obviously. And we need to make a hitting tips video for you guys because everybody's been asking me for it. I'm going to go over my approach, what I like to do for hitting, what to use, what you shouldn't use, what competitive people use, and kind of everything that encapsulates hitting. So as always, guys, if you guys enjoy this kind of content, please hit that like button. Please do subscribe as well. We're going to try to hit 10K on YouTube this year. We're going to try to. I know you guys got me. So let's make that happen. Hitting is a huge thing of MLB the Show, obviously. Pitching this year has been very good, and I think hitting this year has been very good as well. Very rewarding. I think it's been really, really close to 1-to-1, which means that your input matters damn near more than the attributes. Not all the way, but it matters more than what it has been in years past. So we're going to talk about the settings, what you need to use for settings. We're going to talk about control freaks. Control freaks are a huge thing that a lot of top players use. Something that I think you guys should definitely be using as well. But we're going to get into the custom practice. We're going to talk about what my approach is, what I look for, how to move the PCI, what you should be using, and kind of everything with that. So with that being said, I want to start out with control freaks. So if you guys don't know what control freaks are, these are the little thumb things you can put on your controller right here. So you guys can kind of see it's mine is a mid tier. So there are a lot of different things you can use for control freaks. Just for example, I have these are called Omnis. Get that in. These are called Omnis. These are what I started out with. I loved these. We have the Galaxy. Galaxy is a nice one too. A lot of top players use that. And then we have the more high tiered ones. So we've got Infernos. A lot of top guys use those. And then the Galaxy again is another one that's kind of a higher tiered control freak for it. So as you can see, I have a CQC. The black CQC on my controller right now. I am a person that I think the mid tier I think helps out the most. For me personally, obviously, you know, you kind of have to figure out which ones you'll like. But mid tier to me is a little bit easier to control. And I think if you're starting out with control freaks, I would start out with those. There's a ton of guys in the community that have control freak codes as well. So make sure you guys check that out. Use their code. Buy a pair of these because they will help you out in the long run. I swear. I mean, they've improved my hitting tenfold. A ton. Also, one thing if you guys are trying to be competitive is to get a gaming monitor. Gaming monitor is a huge thing as well. Right now I'm rocking a BenQ 4K monitor. Make sure you get a 1 millisecond response time. That is like the biggest thing within, you know, all hitting tips is to get a 1 millisecond response time. That's a big thing that a lot of people use, and I think that it's a huge difference. It helped me from, I think I was playing on TV in 2017, MLB Show 17. I was like a 330 hitter, like it was pretty decent. Switch to a monitor, I was batting like 370, 380. So, I mean, I think getting a monitor, it is an investment, but it's something that if you want to be competitive, you definitely want to try out. All right, so we're going to start out with our settings, where we need to start out here. So we're going to go to the top right, go to settings, go to settings again. We're going to go to gameplay, and this, my friends, is where we're going to start out. This is a huge thing. This is probably like the biggest thing you want to pay attention to. If you're paying attention to anything in this video, this is the settings you want to have. You want to be competitive. So usually, for hitting difficulty, I leave it on Legend. I think Legend to me is a great way for me to practice, but obviously it's tiered to whatever kind of player you are. If you want to get a lot better, I would try Legend. But also, if you're just starting out, try All-Star, maybe even go lower than that. Maybe even do Veteran, Rookie, whatever you want to do. It makes it hitting a lot easier. Just for me, I consider myself a pretty decent hitter, so I usually use Legend in all these videos or when I'm playing offline as well. Okay, hitting view. Hitting view is probably the biggest thing. And the thing that's all competitive people use is this strike zone hitting view. There's different types of strike zone hitting views that you can use, but I think everybody that is a top player uses some form of strike zone. It really helps you see the ball. It's just a really great thing to use when you're hitting. And once we get into the hitting, I can show you guys exactly what it looks like. So we're gonna leave that as strike zone. I highly recommend using that as well. A lot of people ask me about this in-play view offense, which doesn't really have to do with hitting, but just in general. If you're playing the game and like you hit the ball, it just goes high. It just like has this camera angle that's high, which a lot of people enjoy. Hitting interface, we're using zone. If you're trying to get good at this game, I would use zone. People use directional. That's kind of more so just want to play the game casually. I feel like that's kind of more of a casual thing. But zone is the biggest thing you want to do. We're gonna leave this as buttons. I wouldn't use analog. I think that's kind of a tougher, harder thing to do. But we're going to get into the PCI, which is the plate coverage indicator. This is something that you need to have on if you're going to be competitive. And there are a handful of ways to use this. This is something that you really have to, you know, tweak with your own, get used to it, see what you guys like. So right here with the PCI center, which will be the center of the PCI, when I come up with the hitting, it'll make more sense. But right now I'm using altitude. I strongly recommend using some form of whatever you want to use for the PCI center, because to me, it helps you match up where the ball is really easily when you have the center of it. So for me, I use an altitude. Love that. The PCI inner, which the PCI inner has to do with your contact. Usually in MLB the Shows previously, it was your vision, but this in 20 and in 21, the middle or the inner PCI has to do with your contact. So the higher contact, the bigger this PCI inner gets. So I highly recommend using this one. This is the one that I think a lot of people use as well. You can use whatever one you want. I mean, it's nothing. All these ones are fine. I use basic. I'm like, it's just like a little like half moon each side. So I highly recommend that one. The PCI outer, you can use this if you want to. I personally don't use it. If you don't like the inner PCI, I would use the outer. That has more so to do with your vision. And again, same thing, just, you know, whatever one you want to use. PCI color, this is something that you just kind of have to choose on your own. I always keep it yellow. That's how it was throughout, you know, all MLB the Shows. That's how it's always been, is yellow. So I just leave it as yellow. PCI transparency, I leave it at 100. I like to see it. I like to know the PCI is going. That way I can match the ball with it. And then the PCI fade out, I just have that off. You can, if you start with the batting, you'll see like it'll just fade out over time. But I highly recommend leave that off. I wouldn't mess with that at all. But this is kind of where you want to have your best settings. This is, to me, is the best way to use your settings. So I highly recommend using all these settings. Obviously, you can change it a little bit to how you guys want to use it. That's totally up to you. But to me, the main portion of this is you use your PCI. Please use your PCI, because that will help your hitting. It'll help take it to the next level. I swear. If you've never used it before, please try it. And it will be something that'll be very hard to get used to. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's something that is very tough to get used to, but very rewarding in the end as long as you can master it. So that is our settings. Now we're gonna get into our custom practice. I'll show you guys what we need to do from there. Now we're gonna talk about how we're gonna get into our custom practice and what we're gonna do from there. So we're gonna scroll all the way down. We're gonna go to custom practice right here. Which one I was using here? I think we used expansion era last time, and then I'll use. Sorry, we'll get back through this really quick. And also, you can choose whoever you want to use for this. I mean, it doesn't matter. You can use whatever you want for this. We're gonna go to Dave Palm. That's my favorite field I like to play at. And now we'll get into our custom hitting and what we're gonna do for all of this stuff. All right, so we're gonna press start. We're gonna go into practice tab. As you guys can see, I got the hand cam on there as well. That way you guys can see where my thumbs are moving, how it works, and everything. So that way it can be a little bit easier for you guys to understand what is going on. So we're gonna go into batting. So for me, I'm gonna do Chipper Jones. I think we're gonna see Goose Scotches quite a bit in this game. So I'm gonna go ahead and just hit against him. New to this year's MLB The Show is pitch request. So in past years, you could not choose what pitch was coming in. It just came however you wanted to come. So right here we have fastball, slurve, sinker, changeup. You can take it away, put it back on, whatever way you want to. And then also you can do the pitch location request. So say you're struggling with hitting inside pitches, right? Inside pitch will turn that on, and maybe you're struggling hitting the inside sinker. We turn off everything. That way, just inside sinkers will pop up. But for the sake of the video, for right now, we're gonna go ahead and just leave them all off. That way, you can see that every pitch coming in, you know, it's gonna be whatever pitch, and it's gonna go in any location. The first thing we're gonna do when we're hitting. So now you guys can see the PCI. This is what the PCI looks like. This is my own personal PCI. This is the one I like to use. So right now, the PCI looks really small because I'm on Legend. So on Legend, the PCI is going to be smaller. It's a little bit harder difficulty. But if you're brand new, I would probably start on All-Star. See the PCI is getting a little bit bigger right there. I would probably start on that, give that a shot, and then work your way up to Legend. You know, that's the way that most people do it anyway. So let me go. We're going to go back to Legend for right now. But okay. So the first thing what we're going to do here, I don't even want you guys to click X. I don't want you guys to swing the damn bat at all yet. We're going to go here, and we're just going to be tracking pitches, okay? So every pitch that's coming in, we're just going to track it with our PCI. We're going to try and match it up with where the ball is at. So right there, just keep tracking it. We're gonna take about 5 or 6 pitches just to track the ball. I think that's the biggest thing, is learning how to track the ball and just reacting to it. Just reacting to where the ball is going. One thing, especially when you get the higher difficulties, it's hard to guess the pitch. You kind of just want to react to it. So I know it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you guys, if you can start tracking the ball and just reacting to the pitch, man, it'll help out. But obviously you need to pick up on your opponent's tendencies and whatnot and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and track one more ball here. And everybody always asks me, why do I move a PCA around before it comes? That's just my own personal quirk. I like to keep my thumbs ready, get them going, always keep them, you know, ready to be locked in and move around. So this will be our first one that we're actually gonna take a swing at. So we're gonna go ahead and track the ball. Boom. A little bit late on it, obviously. You know, just for the sake of the video, we'll get started on that. But all I use is X. So you see right here, I use X just to swing. So take that one. So we're just gonna try to find our groove right here. We're gonna take some pitches. We're gonna go ahead and see what we can do here. With my own PCI, this is just my own recommendation. I usually sit middle in. Middle in is where I sit, especially when I kind of lock in right there, and then boom, wherever the ball is, I just react to it. So I think that's helped me out a ton. I don't know, a lot of people do stuff differently, but for me, sitting middle in, it helps me react to where the ball's going. So right there, a little bit early on that one, that's okay. But you see like where I'm sitting the PCI and where I want it to come in at. So we're gonna sit middle and then react there. Another ball. Hopefully he throws us some strikes here. Let's see what we can do. Give me a pitch I can hit, Rich. Come on, buddy. So a little bit late on that one too. That's okay. But yes, as you guys can see, you know, just getting some repetition on how we're tracking this ball right here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna change. So we're gonna go ahead and change these pitches. We're gonna go fastball, and we're gonna go fastball down the middle. We're gonna sit middle in, and then boom, just react to it. So obviously right now, these are just fastballs all right down the middle. They should be pretty easy to track, nothing too hard. Do it again. Boom, a little bit early on it. We'll wait back a little bit more. But so like I said, this year is the year where you can actually choose where the pitches are going. Boom, a little bit late on that one, but again, you know, we're getting our PCI close to it. That's all you gotta do. All right, we're tracking. A little bit early still. Let's grab one more here on our fastball down the middle. Boom, there it is. There's the one we want. Ball is absolutely demolished. So once we graduate, once we feel good on that fastball, let's work on a sinker. Sinker is predominantly a pitch that is used a lot in MLB the Show. And inside sinkers are always really hard to hit. So let's start with some inside sinkers. Make sure they're all over the inside here. This is something we really want to work on turning on. And they're going to be very hard to hit. Sinkers are not easy to hit by any means. Inside sinker, tough pitch to hit. Boom, nice little perfect right there. So if you guys are struggling with any pitch, if you're doing these practice and you're feeling, you know what, man, I'm really struggling with this pitch right here. Go ahead, get into this batting practice and go ahead and just smash whatever pitch you're not good with and start getting used to it, because that's a huge thing, especially with this year's game, man. They made it so much easier to practice on that pitch and kind of work from there. So right there, I think inside sinkers are gonna be a pitch that's gonna be thrown a ton in this game. So make sure you guys are good with that one. And then we're gonna start working on some off-speed stuff. We got a little bit of off-speed. The slurves. We're gonna work this on the bottom of the zone here. Slurves are, you know, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be tough to hit. But as long as you can lock in, get ready for it. Boom. Just a little bit early on it. Gotta get our PC on a little bit more. But as you guys can see, like I'm saying again, you guys just tracking the ball. You guys see it. We know a slurve's coming. Boom. Get ready to hit that thing. So as I was saying before, you know, you just want to get used to trying to you know, get the PCI on the ball. Look at it right there, looks pretty good. And just start out with pitches that you struggle with. I mean, I would try that and just slowly work your way up. There's a nice little perfect right there. Just slowly work your way up. But again, I start middle in. I think that's the best way to kind of go about it. Let me just turn these all. So we're gonna turn them all back on. That way we can get any pitch that we want. Another pitch in this game is going to be a cutter. Cutters usually, you know, are thrown quite a bit in this game. Sinkers and cutters are usually the meta. So be on the lookout for those as well. I mean, they're going to be tough pitches to hit, but once you start getting this hitting down, it gets a lot easier. So right here, we're going to go ahead and sit for anything and just react to it. So Goose Gossage is going to be throwing whatever pitch right here. We're going to get a couple of bats right here. Just sitting middle in and reacting to it. So I was a little bit early on that one. Actually, it was very early on that one, but you know, we're still sitting here looking good. And your guys' approach at the plate. I mean, I think your guys' approach at the plate is gonna be to try to wait for a pitch you can absolutely demolish. I mean, that's a really big thing. and just being patient. It's really hard to take pitches in this game, really hard. But if you're starting out, I would even almost say like start taking the first pitch right away. I mean, I think that's something that I kind of work on as well, and then kind of work my way off that, because usually, I mean, it's like a 50-50. People throw a ball, people throw a strike, especially on the first pitch. And right now, Goose Gosh is just throwing us a lot of balls. So we'll see if we can sit on something kind of good right here. Get us a nice little approach. There's a nice little fastball right there. We absolutely demolished with Chipper Jones. So you guys can go against any pitcher you want to. You can switch up any batter you want to. I mean, there's so many different players you want to go against. And say you're struggling against, let's go in here. Let's say you're struggling against somebody. So let's go with let's see, we're struggling against Vita Blue. Let's say we're struggling against Vita Blue. Let's throw Vita Blue in here. Fastball, curveball, changeup, two seam. We're sitting in here, reacting, boom, getting ready for it. So if you are struggling against any freaking pitcher, just go in there, set them in there, and just sit back, relax, and just take some cuts with them, because I mean, that's the best way to get better, right? You gotta use repetition. You gotta just get better at it. And a lot of people don't want to put in, you know, the practice and everything for it. But I think if you guys can do this, and especially, you know, if you can do it on Legend, I would definitely try to do that. If you're trying to get better at the game, man, you want to do it at the highest difficulty if you can, and kind of work your way from there. Legend is only on when you're above 900. So I mean, if you're not planning on getting above that, I mean, maybe not worry about it, but definitely set the difficulty wherever you think you're comfortable with. And yeah, like I'm saying, you know, just react to the pitch. Boom, that's all right. We're taking the ball right there. But as you guys can tell, so if you guys see where my thumb is too, my thumb, I kind of sit just like on the quarter side of it, and then I kind of work my way from there. So I usually sit like down below right here, if you guys can kind of tell. Just like right here, that's where I usually keep my thumb. A lot of people always ask me about where I put my thumb. So right there, kind of on top, and just react to it like that. So we'll do it again right here, so we can get a good pitch to hit. Fastball a little up, that's all right. But yeah, like I'm saying, man, hitting is something that's not going to come easy. It's not going to be an easy thing to do. You know, it's something you're going to have to use a lot of repetition for. I mean, the top players weren't just top players because they were able to get into the game and just play right away. I mean, there's a ton of stuff you need to learn with pitching and hitting. Hitting, I think, is probably one of the biggest things in the game. Obviously not an easy thing to do, but once you learn it, it's super, super rewarding. You know, all in all, there is a lot of stuff you guys can learn with hitting. You know, there's a ton of hitting tips videos out there. This is kind of just the stuff that I look for when I'm doing my hitting stuff. But yeah, all in all, you know, hitting is going to be difficult to begin with. You just got to get the repetition, and you know, once you guys get that going, you guys will be killing the ball, batting above 300. I mean, you guys will be absolutely demolishing the ball. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe as well. I appreciate you guys' love so much on YouTube, especially. We're trying to grow as much as we can. I'm trying to give you guys some nice tips videos out, and hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everybody.